Yo, welcome back to the Nerds with Glasses podcast, your number one gaming podcast on YouTube. I am your host, Knowledge.
And I'm Javi. Guys, make sure you keep up with all our new game movies. Whenever they come out, you can do it with the GOP app. Super easy.
Just download it. You can download it on iOS, on the Play Store. Just type in GOP. You'll see our logo, which is a little kid looking into the dark, the white screen.
Into the TV.
Yeah,
you know.
Poltergeist, as you said last time. Exactly. All right, this week, of course, we have to start with Batman. We have to start with Batman versus Superman.
We want them to leave and dislike the video that quick.
So the movie came out on Friday.
Thursday night, I guess. Because I think they were having showings.
Wednesday, actually.
They had super early showings.
Yeah, they had even Wednesday showings.
Yeah,
I actually saw it Thursday night at an IMAX.
Yeah, this is DC's probably biggest movie to date.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not the Dark Knight, but as far as competing with Marvel.
Yeah, well, as far as like the universe thing, but even so, like I think it's even bigger than Dark Knight as far as like the hype that was built around it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it beat Dark Knight already.
But like although the hype wasn't all good, you know, like it was a lot of negative hype going around. So we're gonna do our thoughts and discussion on Batman versus Superman. It is full of spoilers, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers, just
I haven't watched the
ahead.
movie yet. Go ahead and.
Yeah, like just watch it first before you watch this. So this is just our thoughts and discussion on Batman versus Superman, about what we thought about it, how it could be better, what was good, what was bad, all that type of stuff. Full of spoilers, so leave now.
Yeah.
Okay, so first, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor, what did you think?
I like Jesse Eisenberg. I think he, honestly, the character was not fleshed out at all.
Which is not his fault.
Right.
Exactly.
We honestly, when looking at thinking about the movie, we didn't see him very often.
Yeah.
You know, it would have been nice to see him alone, talking, thinking, somehow.
Or something more, something that just fleshed out his character more. Like a lot of people are complaining, I agree. You don't know what his motivations are.
Right. His motivation is he doesn't like Superman, from what we could tell.
But why?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no real reason. Like, as far as we could tell, is he sees him as a threat, whether.
Yeah, and a threat to humanity.
We don't know if it's just like that, because we don't, like we said, we don't know his motives.
Yeah, and traditionally, from what I remember from like the cartoons, is kind of Lex Luthor just wants
not
to
comics,
be...
just preference.
Yeah, not comics. I haven't read I don't want to step on any toes with people who read the comics. I have not read the comics, but I did watch the show, like the animated series and stuff like that. And Lex Luthor always just kind of wanted to be the most powerful, even from the old movies too.
You wanted to be loved.
They want to be loved. Powerful. Yeah, exactly. Which is one of the reasons he ended up in the comics. I know that he ended up being president. In like 2000.
I remember in the show, did he become president?
Maybe later on, because remember they had several ones too. They had the Batman and Superman animated series
too. The Justice League.
So yeah, I just think I didn't understand what his motivations are, because by the end,
wants the world to burn.
Yeah, like that's what I told you. That I was like, does he just want to watch the world burn? Is he one of those people? Because obviously Darkseid seems like that's what they're setting up, is Darkseid.
Right, with the deleted scene that they released earlier.
Yeah, and even in the movie, I didn't see the deleted scene. So
okay,
it's set up in the movie.
Right, it's set up, but we've like in the from the deleted scene, it's like.
Oh, what happens in the deleted scene?
He makes contact with what everyone's assuming a general of Darkseid.
Oh, okay. Jesus. So yeah, that's my main issue with him. Like, I don't dislike Jesse Eisenberg, and I don't think he did that bad of a job. I literally think that because when he would speak, he would add this little giggle, like that. And I think if you would have just took that little mannerism off, it would have changed my perspective, because it did bother me that I felt like he was kind of going for a Joker type of Riddler thing going on, and I wasn't feeling that little. But honestly, like if you would have just taken that little tidbit off,
right? I don't even think I really paid attention to that.
I instantly noticed it, instantly. But yeah, it reminds me of the movie. Did you ever watch Jumper with Hayden Christensen? Anakin Skywalker himself. You remember that movie?
Wasn't there? Which one's Jumper? Because there's two very similar movies.
It's like he has this power to like teleport, basically, and it's I think Morgan Freeman.
I'm trying to remember. Samuel Jackson.
Was it Sam Jackson?
Yeah,
I thought it was Morgan Freeman.
He was hunting him.
It was Sam Jackson.
If I'm not mistaken.
You're probably white hair. It was either him or Morgan Freeman.
I remember because there was another movie with like Push.
Yeah.
And it was like almost like, it felt like, granted I didn't watch that one, but I always confused the two movies.
Okay, well,
but okay.
Anyways, the point is, the whole movie you don't understand whether it's Sam Jackson or Morgan Freeman. Like, what? Let's say Sam Jackson. I think it's Morgan Freeman. Look it up. Anyways, the point is, his whole thing about hating the jumpers was just like, no one deserves to have this power. Like right. That was like, and you never had any character
Sam
more. Is Sam Jackson jumper? Okay, so Sam Jackson's just like, no one deserves to have this power. Blah blah blah. And that was his whole thing, the whole movie. Like, you didn't understand why he was hunting the jumpers. Mm-hmm. Why was there this eternal war between the jumpers and whoever else was hunting them?
Right.
Like, it was just like, he said it several times. It's just like, nobody but God deserves to have powers.
Right. Like, which is weird because in the movie, Batman's motives were almost the same, but they made more sense.
They made more sense because he honestly feared for, and that's one thing that was really good, the way they set it up. I thought the first scene in Metropolis where he's driving through Metropolis and he's like trying to get to his building and there's the epic fight, I thought that scene was brilliant because you really did get that feeling of helplessness, of like there's nothing he could do. These beings are literally so far beyond what we are that we could do nothing.
Yeah, that whole thing, he could. Well, I forgot what his speech exactly was, but he can take out the entire human race if he wanted to. If there's 1%
chance that could happen,
he has to take him out. And
like that honestly is believable to me. Like, I mean, because it is true. I mean, what if he went crazy? What do we know? Like, what the hell do we know? Yeah, Superman's good now, but what do we know?
And he's gone bad several times. Granted, not the real Superman. Like, they always have something. Like, it's a different universe, It's always something like that from what I remember. Because even in, for example, the most recent I can think of, it was Injustice.
But it was a different universe. And it was like, in the other universe, he actually didn't go bad. And but still, I mean, well, just based on the movie, like, he's never really gone bad in the movie.
Yeah, that's one of the things that the movie's very strange because it doesn't, I don't know where it's at. Yeah. Batman is not new to the scene. It actually seems he's very much like in the Dark Knight Returns
like
comic.
The Frank Miller
old man,
Grizz, like, just kinda,
I mean, not so much as in that, but like old man, done with crime, kind of like, not done with crime, but like his manner is, or the way he takes care of crime is completely different. Because Batman would never brand anyone.
That seems extreme.
Like,
actually, let's get into that in a little bit.
Okay.
Because you know what we really just should have... Right. What we should have said first was, how did you feel about the movie overall? Before we jumped into, like, Jesse Eisenberg.
You just decided to
because So, like, how did you feel about the movie overall?
I don't know. It was very dragging, a lot of parts. There were some very good moments in it, but overall, it just seemed like it dragged.
Yeah, I thought the pacing was off. Like, some parts it was going really fast, and then all of a sudden it slows down.
It was definitely weird because, like, the movie, it acts like it wants you to know, like, you should already know what's going on. Yeah. But and then for some reason, it handholds you a lot too.
Yeah, like seeing Batman's origin again.
Yeah, and then just some of the flashbacks or future sites that Batman has seen, it's just like, why do we need to see this?
Yeah, and see, I just feel that it doesn't work for the film's sake. Like, obviously, I think people who know the lore, they'll love that because they know exactly what's going on. But I think the majority of the people were like, what the fuck is this? Like,
yeah, I'm sure when people saw the gargoyle looking creatures are like Darkseid, or, whatever it is that they thought.
Yeah, all the hardcore fans, all the casual people were like,
and then and then also like just for that scene where, like, the helplessness of Superman or Batman, I don't know why I felt like it dragged on too long.
Oh, you thought so?
Yeah, like,
I thought it was really good actually.
Because it felt like we were watching the first, like, we were watching like Man of Steel again, and then this was like an extended version of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because one of the things I would like that I wanted to mention before we started talking about just what we overall thought was that, actually no, go ahead and talk about what you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So for me overall, I don't think it's a great movie, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I can't lie about that. I think you can nitpick it all you want afterwards, but how did you feel? Me personally, like, how did I feel like leaving the theater? I had a good time, and I think part of it is I saw it in IMAX. Mm-hmm. I saw it on Thursday night, which always helps because everybody's fucking pumped up to watch it.
Yeah, people usually go that really want to see it.
Yeah, like it's a full
It's not the same as midnight though. It's not the same as midnight.
Oh no, I mean it's so different now too with all the early showings, but still like everybody there was pumped up. Some people were dressed up, people were clapping. Like every opportunity that came up, people were clapping. So like you just get sucked in by the atmosphere. So like I really can't, just judging it off of my experience. I had a fun time. I enjoyed the movie. Like the action scenes were. The thing is, like the thing about these movies, even if they suck, like Ninja Turtles or Transformers, you're getting tier 1 production value. Like no matter what, even if the plot is stupid or the acting's done, you're getting like the number 1 production value on Earth. Period. You know. So I enjoyed it, but definitely like there's a lot of times where I was like, come on, really? Like we just talked about, like we're watching the origin story again, and not only that, I was
they showed it to us twice.
Yeah, and like there was also too many scenes to me where the dream sequences, because that's where it starts with. It's like he falls through the well, then he gets levitated by bats.
I'm just like, what? Why?
Now, obviously, that's a dream sequence.
Yeah.
But there was too many scenes in the movie where like you didn't know it was a dream sequence until after the fact. But you can't get that bitter taste out of your mouth where you're like, really? He's like bats are levitating.
There's the one scene where a lot of people are saying Man-Bat. The character actually came out of Martha's tomb. Yeah. You know, it's just like it felt like too many of those. I don't know.
Yeah, there was too many.
And they were uncalled for. Like there's no setup, I guess, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting like a Family Guy, like setup. You know, but I was like, I don't know.
There needed to be some filmmaker,
because it didn't establish that Batman was fucking crazy, you know.
You know, and then especially since he has this fucking vision into the future, like of course you can argue, okay, maybe because it was the Flash, it was the Flash, but it was like, did the Flash insert that dream into his mind? Or is Batman clairvoyant now? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? There was too many of those. Where
did he drag him into his dimension?
Yeah,
and put it, I don't know.
And I guess for hardcore fans, that's great because they can argue about that all day. They can argue about that one scene for a whole day. But I think they have to take into consideration the casual fan too,
or the majority.
Yeah, exactly. So,
you know, the kids don't care. They loved it.
They loved it. I mean, yeah. So I don't blame them. It was a fun movie.
Only us cynics.
It was a lose-lose situation. Like from the very first trailer, people were just picking it apart.
Because why the fuck would Superman not win?
So okay, go ahead on what you were gonna say about Batman.
All right, so just all 3 characters in general.
Okay.
Batman seems like, like I said, he's his Dark Knight Returns version, older, fighting crime. Obviously, something happened with the Joker already. Yeah. Because they kind of had that
reference, the the last joke's on you.
Which I'm assuming he killed him.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because he kills like 5 other people straight out.
Oh, he's a murderer in this fucking movie.
Because there's those little scenes like, he makes an explosion nearby. He flips a car. Yeah. Then he drags the car, and those people are dead. Yeah. That's 4 people. Yeah. Like that he killed, you know, and then there was I forgot what character he's supposed to be, but he's actually, I guess, supposed to be a character, and it's the guy with the flamethrower with Martha's mom. Yeah. He straight out kills him. Yeah, he annihilates him. Yeah. Superman looks like he's just getting notoriety as Superman. It's maybe been maybe a year. It doesn't seem like that long. Yeah. You know?
It was actually, they said it in the movie, it was actually 18 months after the Metropolis event. Okay. And the Metropolis event, he was barely starting.
You know, that was his first reveal? Maybe not first reveal to everyone.
Like around that time, in that timeline, it wasn't that long that he became Superman.
Right, and Batman has been fighting crime for years. It looked like.
Yeah, no, and they also, if I might be mistaken, you guys can correct me, but they mentioned that he said our 20 years of work means nothing. So he's been at it for 20 years. Right. I'm assuming he started maybe at 20, let's say. Yeah. You know, like maybe 25
yeah.
at the. So maybe he's like 45.
Yeah, so he's not the super old man, like you know, but he's still an older guy. And then we have Lex, who's fucking high schooler, looked like.
Yeah.
That's just because it's Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
But still, just the way. You know, I think he's on his bike, he's on his skateboard, he's playing basketball. He just looks very young.
Yeah, they wanted to portray him young,
which
obviously.
is fine. It's just like they're in
different places that we've never seen them like at the same. You know, like it feels like
that I've never seen at least.
Yeah, it feels like there are different interpretations. Which is fine. Like I think the movie should have a right to have his own interpretation.
But
I think
they don't flesh that out. They don't we don't know. You know.
That's the main issue is that they don't flesh it out enough. I think we'll see what happens with the director's cut. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things they cut out, but in my opinion, like the Justice League stuff, like it's cool. I love when they show the Flash and Aquaman and Cyborg. That's fine, but like
they should have only shown one, if any.
But you mentioned the best solution to that. Just make that the after credit scene. Make Batman come home after everything and open.
It could have been, you know, when he sends her the email, she sees her picture and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
And then maybe I don't know if her or someone else goes back to it. Maybe Alfred even on his computer goes back and looks at the other four.
Yeah.
Three.
The other three. Yeah, like they could have easily done it as an after credit scene. And fine, they don't want to do what Marvel does, fine. But all I'm saying is that, although that's cool, that's not necessary in the movie.
It didn't fit correct. Like, it didn't fit right.
Yeah, because like you mentioned to me, it's like, it's not like you see the Flash come and help or anything. You know what I mean? It doesn't...
I was expecting Aquaman to, like
burst out the water.
And the spear to, like, save Lois.
That's exactly when they threw the water, I was like, Aquaman, let's go, baby.
I was like, Superman's going to be too busy.
Yeah.
He literally... Apocalypse could have destroyed the entire Gotham in the time. I mean, granted, Wonder Woman was helping. But he could have destroyed all of Gotham in the time he went to go save Lois.
Yeah.
He was holding her for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so like, I thought
there's a fight going on.
Like, hurry the fuck up. Like, we need to get this done. And why did he give the spear to Wonder Woman? She could have fucked shit up. Just give the spear to her. You don't have to die. You know? It doesn't make... She was obviously holding her own.
Yeah, I don't know. Granted, I know why she threw it, but Lois, like, just the way she threw the spear was weird to me. Like,
like when he was passed out.
Yeah, I understood why she threw it, but hand it to someone.
Yeah, and and like just of course, like this movie is filled with plot holes. Here's my thing: so he goes underwater, gets the spear. The spear is not that far down because she could see the spear. Yeah. So in the time that it took him to get the spear and come back up, he passed out. And like he couldn't move, and she had to throw the spear so that he can revive himself. But then he somehow had the energy to grab the spear
and fly
full force into Doomsday. How the fuck did he if it's affected him that much? How? It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like little things like that. It's like you can just let it go. You're like, whatever. It's a comic book movie. But if you really wanted to nitpick, you're like, I'm just sitting there going like,
Wonder Woman's right there.
Right, just throw
you literally cannot hold the thing for more than 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Before passing out.
Yeah, like just let go of the spear and then like just grab Doomsday like this
and get hit through the heart like Goku.
Yeah, like come on, man. Like that little things like that didn't make sense the whole movie. Back to the Batman thing. I think that's the biggest deal is the one rule thing where he always says like my one rule, he doesn't kill anybody.
And at least he doesn't use guns.
And he doesn't use guns.
At least, with bullets.
So it was funny though, because my cousin was telling me that the interpretation was so brutal that when the dock scene comes up and he's holding like the sleeper, like he's holding the tracker gun, he thought it was a sniper. He thought he was just gonna start sniping people. Like that's what I thought too. I thought he was about to just start popping heads off. Like, yeah, to me I think that's the biggest issue with the Batman interpretation. Although I like him more brutal, I like him this way. I thought Ben Affleck was great.
Right. I didn't like the branding. Even if he's brutal, why would he?
Yeah. Because he's condemning them.
And even before I learned that, that's a sign that you're gonna get murdered in the. I was like, why is he doing that in the first place?
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
And but yeah, I think that whole one rule thing. So this, I was talking to this. I was like sending messages back and forth with people, with my cousins and friends and stuff, and they were saying like, "Oh well, Batman has killed people in the other movies too," and like, well, I know that's true. Like, I don't have to look it up. I know it's true.
Yeah, there's no doubt
he's probably killed people, but like, it's never been as blatant as it is here. Like in the other movies, he might have killed them like as a consequence of things. This one, like he literally, the Batmobile took out a 50 caliber machine gun and shot into the back of the truck. Those dudes are not alive. Like, those dudes are dead.
I'm telling you, like, okay, that was the Batmobile. He wasn't. Yeah, he didn't do it himself. But what was it, that scene where he crashes that one car and then hooks it? I was like, okay, he's gonna try to save it.
Yeah.
No, he fucking hooks it so they can die.
He's a murderer. So I think that's one of the reasons like hardcore fans can be disturbed by it, because
he's been brutal before. He fucking literally breaks people apart. You know? But I don't know. And that's probably more brutal than just killing them straight out for the most part.
Yeah, but I mean, like, killing them is ending somebody's life. So, I mean, that's a big deal, because then it changes the whole lore about who Batman is. It's like, if you had that Batman in Dark Knight is 30 minutes long. Right. Just kill Joker, it's over.
Even the Dark Knight, I'm just thinking, like, even the Dark Knight Returns, like the movie. I haven't read all the comic book. I read the first half. Yeah. But the movie, he fights Superman. He beats him.
Oh, the movie, the animated movie.
Yeah. He beats him. But all he's doing is proving that he can. Yeah. And in this movie, it's like
he wants to kill him.
Like, he's ending his life. Yeah.
He wants to literally.
And he's been around. He's been Superman for 18 months. It's just like, shit. Like,
damn, this guy's not playing no fucking. That's what I was saying the whole movie though. Like, Batman's not playing no games anymore, motherfuckers. Like, see, I liked it, but that's what I'm saying is like it changes who he is, and
because then Superman's exactly the same.
As far as like not killing people.
He killed Zod in the first movie. Yeah, he had no choice.
Yeah, because he was gonna kill other people.
Yeah, and he would have, like we saw in the movie, he was just gonna let Batman kill him. Yeah, he's pretty much still himself. It's one of those things where, at any moment in time, Superman would kill Batman, but his greatest weakness is he won't. He won't. Yeah, that's his greatest weakness.
Yeah. He's a Boy Scout, or he just has high morals. Yeah. So. I don't know, that did bother me a little bit, just like I'm saying, like what led Bruce and Bruce Wayne Batman to become this brutal?
I'm assuming it's the Joker. He killed the Joker. Okay, that's what it had.
Exactly. So like we're assuming these things, but we don't know. Mm-hmm. So that's the problem. I can buy it. Like, sell me the story. Sell me the story that. And this is the rumor that people, or this is the theory that people have, which we've talked about and makes sense, that Joker probably took Tim Drake and just tortured him like he does, like in canon. Like he does. And Tim Drake gets, he just becomes crazy and he becomes the next Joker. Mm-hmm. And then Batman, that takes him over the edge and he kills Joker. And then the one that we see in Suicide Squad is actually Tim Drake.
I'm not sure, the movies aren't related, correct?
I think they are. I think Ben Affleck is in that movie. You know, so that's. I think they are related. That's not. Mm-hmm. I might be wrong. So, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. And my point is, that to me sounds like a great story. Just show me or tell me or something. Like, give me 5 minutes on that. And then the rest of the movie makes sense. I can buy.
You could have I complained about it earlier, but the 15 minutes of the backstory of Batman again, they didn't need to show it there. We know who Batman is. Yeah. They did it again. They showed it to us again when Superman tells him to save Martha, which is the same name as their both moms are Martha. He has the little flashback. That would have been, just cut it out of the first part and just have it for there.
Yeah, and it would have made perfect sense there. And even if you didn't know the backstory, it would have been easy to just interpret that, okay, he's a kid.
And then also the fact that it was just kind of weird seeing Thomas Wayne swing.
Yeah, that was so ridiculous. Like, why would first of all Thomas Wayne was like a peacemaker type of person.
Yeah, I remember in one of the movies I saw, it was like, I think it was one of the Flash ones where he fucked up the timeline.
Yeah.
And it showed that, like, Thomas Wayne became Batman and kills people after Bruce dies from that incident.
Yeah.
Where it isn't...
That's a separate timeline. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
And it was just weird, like, I mean, I don't know, that's just seen... And then the mugger looked surprised when he was shooting Martha, even though he had the gun, like, two inches away from her. It was just like... Yeah, it just looked weird.
Yeah, they didn't. It was a bad interpretation of that, and I agree. I think they could have cut that out. They could have cut out the dream sequences, and they could have cut out that Avengers thing. Not Avengers. I'm sorry. The Justice League. Sorry, the Justice League thing. And like right there, you cut off like 20-30 minutes. It's a 2-hour movie now. It's a lot tighter. Mm-hmm. It makes a lot. Or add the other shit you took out. Yeah. So I mean, I think the editing needed help because there was too many times where the dream sequences came in and I didn't realize they were dream sequences until after the fact, and then but always
they didn't do anything.
Yeah,
like what did the one with him floating with the bats do?
Oh, the dark side one? Yeah, that
no, floating with the bats. Wait.
Oh yeah, that's the beginning. Yeah,
the beginning when he's a kid.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the parademons.
No. No. With the bats that are lifting them up, like. What did that do?
Yeah, it was just I forgot what I would need to watch it
again. Maybe I need to watch it again, but I don't even remember like what was that for? Why?
He was saying something like, and then like he was talking to a therapist or like to Alfred or something, and it's like, and then I floated up,
and then
like,
I'm a god now.
Yeah, and now I'm Bat Jesus. Like, yeah, like those dream sequences could have been cut out. It would have been a lot tighter movie. I'm interested to see the director's cut because I think they probably did cut out a lot of character development stuff.
One of the things I really liked about Lex Luthor, one of the things he did was when he killed the whole Supreme Justice thing. Or was it Supreme Justice? No. I forgot what he blew up.
It was just a hearing and there was a bunch of senators.
Thank you.
Yeah.
His assistant didn't even fucking know.
Yeah. That was fucking like...
I was like, yes. Like, like she's like...
That was a good scene, exactly, because you were surprised because you were like, he's not going to kill Mercy, like, especially, like, in the cartoon, that's, like, his right-hand man, like, right-hand woman,
And it's just like...
She doesn't know, just, boom, done.
Like, she wasn't part of it, she's like, where's Lex? And then the whole, just, like, the granny's,
the granny's iced tea or whatever, mango tea or some shit. I
was just like, damn, fucking...
He's a savage.
That's a savage. But savage. You don't see any of that. You don't see any reason for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think too much of the movie relies on people being dumb. Because how could people not know that Superman didn't do that? Like, same thing with the whole thing in Africa. Like,
Superman had fucking floating guns around him when he arrived.
And he's just, like, fucking fired. Like, why would Superman shoot anybody? Like, why do people even... that doesn't make any sense. Like, and the whole thing with Batman, too. Like, Batman's dumb a lot of times as far as, like, how do you not know that he's not a bad guy? Like, or how do you not know... I mean, I understand that they have to pit him against each other, fine. But, like, it's...
How does he not know about Lex more? Like, because he doesn't really... The only reason he's curious of Lex is because... Not because he's a bad guy, but because he wants the kryptonite. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he was looking into it. You know?
And then also, how did they all know each other's identities? By you know what I mean? Like, of course they can figure it out, fine. Mm-hmm. But like, they could have just gave me one scene where how the fuck did Lex know that he's Clark Kent
and he's Batman,
and that Batman is Bruce Wayne?
He's fucking. He's fucking Lex.
Exactly. Well, give me a 30-second scene where some computer is hacked or some shit, and they're like,
well, yeah, I guess that's true because it is kind of weird because like to find out the other metahumans, he has research.
Yeah.
He has research on Cyborg, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman.
Yeah. And
he even has their symbols.
Yeah, exactly. Or he made the symbols.
Yeah,
maybe.
And then they just adopted them.
Yeah. It's like Flash, a lightning bolt. Yeah,
he doesn't even have a suit yet, or as far as I know.
Yeah, exactly. Lex created the symbols. Yeah, and then like Superman has to know that Batman is Bruce Wayne. Just look through the fucking. You can see through his mask. That's him.
Which they know. Yeah, exactly.
He knew because he was like Bruce. He told him Bruce. Like I guess he was trying to throw him off, but it's kind of like he could just see through your fucking mask.
Clark, like.
But like,
you don't have it, like you take off your glasses. Wow.
Yeah, but like, why not? Like, okay, if you know it's Bruce Wayne, why did Superman wait for the dock incident to tell?
What dock?
At the docks when he's trying to steal the kryptonite, and then Superman stops him and he tells him like, take this as a warning, like don't ever put on the suit again, this and that. I'm like, why don't you just go to the Wayne Manor?
Why didn't you go to the Batcave?
Yeah, like, why do you just tell him there? Like, why do you wait for him to do some crazy shit? Like, you know who he is. Shit, just go fucking tell him. So it's just little plot holes like that. But
I think at that point he still didn't know.
Yeah, but he had to. Oh, I guess
because he hadn't been.
Oh, you're right. You're right. But I guess right then and there, I would have told him like Bruce. Like as soon as he gets out of the Batmobile, just like Bruce
in the Batmobile as he's ripping off the thing, you can see through.
Yeah, like don't ever do this again, Bruce. I'm not playing with you no more. Like, but yeah.
And tell Alfred I said hi. You know, like because he heard him on the fucking thing.
I guess one last discussion I want to have about it is just the comparison that everybody makes to Marvel. Doesn't matter.
Yes.
And
of course.
And like, how much is Marvel's universe shaping how DC is trying to do their universe? Like, are they just trying to do the opposite? Like, just to be different, or they really have a different vision? It feels like, well, first is like this is Zack Snyder's baby. Like they giving them the keys to the car because he got to do Man of Steel, he got to do this one, and he's doing Justice League. So, do they need a different director? Like, just give me your thoughts in general about the comparison with Marvel.
Maybe they just don't want, like you said, maybe they're doing the exact opposite of Marvel, where
they're
gonna have one director for the entire fucking universe.
Yeah.
Whereas Marvel has like 20 different directors for one movie. It seems like you know.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, what is it?
Well, I mean, Joss Whedon has done both Avengers.
Yeah,
so.
but
the other individual ones. Yeah.
But he's not doing the next one.
Okay. But did he do the second one? Did he do Age of Ultron?
I think that's his. I think so.
Okay.
I remember. Yeah, I think he did that one.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know if they're gonna get different. I imagine they're gonna get different people for the individual Justice League movies.
Yeah, of course.
But it does seem like this is being shaped by Zack Snyder, like his vision. And do you like the darker direction? Do you think they need to be like lighter,
I don't
campier?
Think so. They don't need to be. I mean, there's no reason for it. I mean,
yeah.
Even like one of the most comparable things, not comparable, but one of the things you can like throw together is like just like the Dark Knight, the Batman animated series, and Superman versus something like Spider-Man animated.
Yeah. Way
darker, both of them. Very, not very light, to be honest, either of them.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have Spider-Man,
Spider-Man. That was kind of dark too, though.
It was, but I mean, I guess it was just lighter because that's Peter Parker's character.
That's the character. That's right. That's right.
You know, those two characters, you don't need them to crack jokes.
Yeah.
You don't need them to do anything like that. You know.
Yeah.
Or you don't have they don't have them do that.
And that's just not who they are in general, which shows with the animated series. That's the direction that those characters have been for a while. Yeah. I mean, everybody always compares Superman to the old Superman to Christopher Reeves from the 70s, and those were campy, but like, I mean, like,
character wasn't supposed to be.
I mean, like, the movies were campy and they had light humor.
But, that's true.
But
it wasn't like
those were different times.
Yeah, it wasn't like Adam West Batman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like even so that's the other good example is like, yeah, they were campy back then. That doesn't mean that they had to be campy and light now. Like what's wrong with different interpretations? But in general, I do like that they're not trying to copy Marvel. Yeah, I like that. Like that they're not trying to copy them.
Fucking every Marvel movie has like that lighthearted. Maybe the least lighthearted is Captain America or Thor.
Yeah. At least the Captain America, the second one.
Well, the second one, but just in general, like even the first one was,
I mean, that one had a lot of kind of like quirky, like little humor, funny stuff. Like it was a lot lighter.
But I guess I mean more like the characters, because all the other characters like Iron Man is
full of jokes.
just a dick.
Yeah.
Shit. I guess Hulk.
Thor is funny because he's like the straight man in the comedy group. Like he's funny because he's so like he's just like, I'm the god of whatever.
It's
then
like everything got into the galaxy. What's his name? Batista's character.
Yeah.
Drax.
Yeah, he doesn't understand sarcasm. Like
something like that,
Yeah.
So like the characters and then these two characters. I mean, the Flash is probably gonna be the most humorous character out of the bunch.
I hope they do at least bring that out.
Like the characters. Like I said, it's fine. Like, I don't mind Batman and Superman movies, even Wonder Woman, even Aquaman movies being not as light.
Yeah.
Flash kind of should be.
Yeah. And I don't think, like, they don't even have to change the tone of the movie. They can just throw in a couple jokes here and there. And they had them in this one. And I can count them on my hand how many they had. Mm-hmm. They had Alfred make like 3 or 4 jokes. They had I thought she was with you. Like it's like she's with you. It's like, no, I thought she was with you. Yeah. And then the like, I'm a friend of your son's, when he saves Martha Kent. Those are like the only
the cape, I guess.
Yeah, that's the cape. Yeah, those are like the only 5 jokes in the whole movie. Like I think honestly they could throw in another 5 and it's not gonna change the tone of the movie. They could just throw them in there, and especially if the Flash is in there, then they can really throw some stuff in there, and it's still, you can have best of both worlds. It doesn't have to be. I remember we read a report where they were saying like they don't want any joke, no jokes. Like it's not copying Marvel by having jokes in there. Jesus, like there's a lot of funny moments that you can get out of it.
Yeah, but it is like, I mean, just looking at like their Marvel's latest. With like just like Guardians of the maybe not the latest, but Guardians of the Galaxy and like Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Basically comedies.
Yeah, and that's fine, and that fits their stuff.
And then of course Deadpool. Granted, that's separate, but that's pure comedy,
Yeah. So I like the fact that DC is not trying to copy Marvel. They're trying to do their own thing. I think they can improve, and I think that fans shouldn't get angry at other fans for saying that. You know what I mean?
No. There has to be.
Yeah, like
or else there's no growth in the comic book, in the superheroes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you need to be able to take that criticism, and it's cool that they have their dark interpretation of it, and it makes sense. One last point is,
we didn't talk about it at all. Just Wonder Woman, and I guess what you thought about the look of the Justice League characters.
Okay, I thought Wonder Woman was great. She's like one of the 5 most beautiful women on Earth, and
is she the same girl from Fast and the Furious?
Yeah, that's her. Gotcha. She's Brazilian in Fast and the Furious, but she's actually an Israeli actress.
Oh, okay.
And she's beautiful, and I don't know. People were, when they first saw her, complain that her frame was too kind of thin. But whatever.
I mean, and it's she is a smaller character,
Yeah, she is, but I mean, it's fine with me. I didn't look at her and be like, oh, she's a weakling. You know what I mean? Because either way, her power is not like from her muscles. Like she's
like basically some kind of god.
Yeah, she's some kind of goddess that can fuck shit up. So I don't really care if her
like she fucked shit up.
Yeah, she messed up Doomsday. Like
I was just like, all right, well, we don't need kryptonite. Just let Wonder Woman. She was like cutting his freaking arms off and shit.
And I didn't like Doomsday too much, by the way. He really did look like a Ninja Turtle.
He did. I mean, he was going through the metamorphosis, but I would have wished they just started off with that rockier version of him.
Yeah, it looked better like that.
Mm-hmm. Not much better though, but better.
Actually, there's still more we need to talk about. One other thing that me and you were talking about was, I wonder how the Justice League is going to carry over in the long run, because for people who know the comics and the games and stuff, they're super sci-fi. They get into like multiple universes, and Crisis Core, Infinite Crisis. And
Crisis Core is a different game.
Yeah, Crisis Core is Final Fantasy. Yeah, Infinite Crisis and Injustice and stuff like that. Like, it gets super sci-fi, and we saw that little snippet with the parademons from Darkseid in the Vision, and then also Flash breaking the barrier, the time barrier, and all that. Like
to give him a warning. I don't know what it was.
I just wonder, like how that's gonna carry over in the long run, because it seems like they're trying to make a very gritty, grounded movie, and then you get hit with.
Yeah, what we're mentioning, the first half of the movie is like very down to earth, very real, and then the second half is just like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, this is all different now. It's Frankenstein, sci-fi, like, you know,
blood of my blood.
Yeah, like, and I mean, every superhero is like that. Like, Spider-Man gets bit by a radioactive spider, and he has superpowers. Yeah, but it just Justice League does get really sci-fi. So does Marvel, but they haven't taken it to that point, really, other than Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, just the whole space. I mean, you wouldn't consider Thor's world, stuff like that takes it like that. I mean, that was great because they took it finally, like the universe, not just the Earth. You know?
But that's 1 out of 10. You know, because even the first Thor is mostly here on
that is
on
no,
Earth.
yeah, that's true. But just the acknowledgement of that.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. So I just wonder how that's gonna carry over. And the last point I wanted to make, which I thought was really interesting, and why I think comic book movies are special and that they're important in a way, is I was watching a documentary from the History Channel about comic book superheroes and the history, and one of the editors of I don't know if it was a story writer or whatever, but for Batman, and he was saying that somewhere along in the mid 90s, he realized, and most of the other writers realized, that like what they're doing is not just making like a 1 week special, like here's a comic and that's it, like just 1 week and whatever. They're really writing American folklore, and I thought that was so powerful and so true. Like, superheroes have become the Greek gods of our time. They become like Hercules, Zeus.
There is a Hercules in Marvel.
You know, but like they've like those stories from the Greek times have lived on for thousands of years.
Well, ours.
Yeah, and I think these superheroes will also live on because it doesn't happen all the time. Like, the next thing after that is general knowledge is probably like King Arthur. You know, like in the medieval times, like what after the Greek gods, like what kind of folk heroes? I can't even think of any. You know what I mean? Like, it's just...
I'm sure there is a lot.
I'm sure there is, but I mean, just as far as like general knowledge that anybody would know. Like, if you told people... If I told my mom Hercules, like, she would... Oh, yeah. Hercules. So I think that these superheroes are actually gonna live on for a long time because they're so intricate, so well written. There's so much stuff about them. Like, if our society were to fall apart and, you know, a new civilization... 1,000 years from now,
would they just think we're crazy?
Yeah,
like believing in Superman.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, they'll read the comics and be like, yeah, they believed in superheroes and this and that. Like, it's probably the same. Like, Hercules was probably like their version of comic books back then. You know what I mean? Like, so I just thought that was very interesting, and that's why I think that these interpretations are important in a way. Obviously, they're not gonna affect your life, but I mean, this could be a paradigm shift for how Batman is interpreted in general. Because of the power of this movie, Batman now can become like a killing machine, brutal. So
my theory, we're getting Terry McGinnis.
That would be amazing.
You know, this is an old Batman, you know? I mean, it doesn't have to be obviously Terry McGinnis. You know, the storyline behind him was some kind of cloning thing of Bruce, if I remember correctly from the show. I don't even remember the show that well. But
no. He was just a kid.
I remember something. Maybe it was a theory, but I don't know. But anyways,
no. Terry McGinnis was just like a kid.
Just find a kid, you know.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna see some kid that has potential. And he's like, you know what, you're Batman now, or you'll have him steal the suit, you know.
Yeah. That would be a great story.
And then have him be the Batman for the new Justice League, because, like I said, Batman seems really old right now. Yeah. And Flash is young as hell. Yeah. I think he's younger than like what Jesse Eisenberg looks like. Yeah. He looks like he's like 20.
He looked like a teenager, honestly, in the little grainy fucking security cam.
Aquaman is probably
ageless.
And then obviously Wonder Woman is ageless. Yeah. You know, so is like you don't have to have Bruce Wayne. You can.
That'd be a great. I'm sure, like, if honestly, like, obviously, we don't think that's gonna happen.
No, but
like,
I wish that would happen.
If they were to do it, I think you would have Ben Affleck for like one Justice League movie, and then bring in maybe do a standalone Batman movie.
Where Terry McGinnis.
Because if I remember correctly from the show, what happens in the show at least is that he's getting older and older, and he starts getting more advanced suits, and then he ends up having like a heart attack during one of his crime fighting things.
Right.
And then he, like 20 years pass, and he's just like an old man.
Grumpy.
And Terry McGinnis happens to stumble upon like Wayne Manor or something
like
that.
Which is weird. Yeah, and then he gets a suit.
Yeah.
And then Batman paralyzes him in his suit. I remember that scene because he takes it out.
Yeah.
And then Batman's like, Bruce Wayne's like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, like what?
Let me use the suit. Yeah.
So that'd be cool. That'd be awesome.
I don't think they're gonna do it, but God, that would change my whole mind of like
the whole Justice League
if they did that.
Yeah.
Because it's just so weird seeing Batman so old.
Yeah. So out of it. I guess in Dark Knight Returns, the movie, he was kind of out of it, but Christian Bale still looked so young that it didn't. But he was fucked up. His leg was messed up. So I mean, I guess we have seen that, but it's different. Like Ben Affleck actually does look kind of grizzly and older. All right, Batman versus Superman. Long discussion. We had 3 more stories. We're gonna jump right through these really quick. Just our quick thoughts. First, GTA 6. Reportedly by Tech Radar is in development. No surprise, I think, to anybody.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are excited. I was excited for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, which is also reportedly in development.
Rumored,
I based on their pattern, it usually takes them like 5 years between GTAs.
So we're gonna get something this E3, and then 2 years from now we'll get the game.
Yeah, but I'm starting to think maybe, I don't know, like
because the reason I'm thinking that it might even take them longer is, if they are developing Red Dead at the same time, they're not gonna have.
Yeah, but they probably got different studios.
Yeah, they do, but. I don't know.
Like
it's easy excuse,
Yeah, I think if anything, what we're gonna see this E3 is we'll see a teaser for GTA 6, and we'll see maybe like a more full on gameplay trailer for
Red Dead.
Because Take-Two Interactive, who publishes GTA, did say that they're gonna be at E3 in a big way. Like, they went out of their way to say that. So obviously they're gonna have something.
What else does Take-Two do? Just curious, just so I can remember.
I can't think on top of my mind, but anything that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of it might just be like they're gonna be writing the publicity of it maybe being GTA.
Yeah.
But do another one of their big games.
Yeah. Anything Rockstar does, like that, any series they have. But yeah, it's in development. I don't think that's a big surprise to anybody, but it's exciting because GTA 5 I thought was a good game, and it's worth it. Are you looking at Take-Two?
Yeah, just Sumo Games.
Are those all the?
Are they 2K? Are they the same?
No, I think that's different. Take-Two Interactive.
That's what.
Yeah.
Just Take-Two Interactive, and it shows Borderlands right there.
I guess they have all these weird subsidiaries and all that different stuff.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, we'll see what comes of that. I think Red Dead
label.
Huh?
It's on part of their label.
Oh, okay. So Rockstar and they own Rockstar and 2K. That makes sense. Yeah, and also LA Noire I think should get a sequel, but they haven't said anything about that. So I doubt you'll see that. But Red Dead, we've been hearing rumors.
The next one being the biggest story for us ever. Everyone wanted this. Was Call of Duty in space. That's the rumor, at least.
That's the rumor. So this comes from a NeoGAF forum. The person who leaked this was also the first person to leak that there's going to be wall running in Black Ops 3, which is true. He also leaked the specialist, which is true. So just saying. Well, I mean, obviously, just saying that to drive down the fact that this person has leaked true things.
Yeah, not that he's credible by any means, but he has been correct. So
yeah, he has. Yeah, he supposedly has inside sources. So he was talking to somebody on the forum, and he was telling him no, the next game is not Ghost 2. It's gonna take place in very far future, like space age future.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that was the funniest fucking thing I've heard all week.
If you don't like COD or whatever, but if you do like COD and you've been playing them, for some reason it seems like maybe not the majority, but the outspoken majority definitely wants a World War II
/ or Modern Warfare game. They don't want fucking double jumps. They don't want wall running. They want to go back to
they're bad.
They want to go back to traditional COD, and they're tired of all this futuristic
They want
stuff.
CS:GO, but not CS:GO. That's what they want.
Just like with a bunch of cool kills.
Yeah.
They want Modern Warfare 2. That's what they want, or COD 4.
But they're not getting it.
No,
apparently.
This is the rumor. So here's my suggestion, and let me know if you guys agree with me. And I honestly believe that this suggestion would be the best move for Activision. If it's true that they're making a space age game, Call of Duty game, I think that they honestly need to take the Call of Duty name out and just make it its own game.
Space.
Yeah, because space.
Yeah, that's it.
Coming out November 11th. The reason I say this is because, I was talking to you about this earlier, that this is actually the weakness of having a 3-year cycle with 3 different developers. Because 3 years ago when Ghost came out, everybody was saying, I'm tired of the modern setting. Like, I wish they did something different. So what they did something different. They made Advanced Warfare.
And then Black Ops 3.
Now the whole thing has changed where
now... When Advanced Warfare is... people wanted... we want military... modern shooters.
Yeah, we want the old school Call of Duty shooters. So I think that 3-year cycle harms them because they go into motion. They were in motion with this 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Whatever game they started this 3, maybe even 4, while Advanced Warfare was still being finished. Or Ghost, I mean.
Right.
So like now, if they release this game, it might really hurt them because a lot of people, I don't know how you said, it might be the silent or the vocal
outspoken
majority, but it seems to me like a lot of people do not want this.
Right.
So I think,
or go ahead, go finish.
Okay, so here's my solution. Activision, this is what you do. You get a team together. It won't take that long. I mean, it'll take a while, but you can do it within a couple months.
Do Halo and do a Master Chief collection.
Do Modern Warfare collection. You release it. That's the main Call of Duty game for this year. You take this space warfare game and you change it into whatever title you want. Just take the Call of Duty name out and make it a brand new franchise. Because you know what? Black Ops 3, if it didn't have the Call of Duty name on it, it wouldn't even be a Call of Duty game. Like, you could honestly call it whatever the fuck you wanted to call it. And it would be a completely different game.
You should talk to Tom Clancy.
But
okay, so this is so just to kind of like counter. I don't think people want a military shooter. It's just that everyone's happy. Like, so when Ghost came out, people that wanted that, like space shooter, they got their space shooter next year. So why they don't need to speak up anymore? Yeah. Now the people that aren't happy are the ones talking. So it doesn't matter what they fucking do. Yeah. If they take out the Call of Duty name, no one's gonna buy it. Comparatively, they can't take it off. Yeah.
And I don't believe that. I think people will buy it.
Right, and then that's fine. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think so. I don't think people will buy it the same way. I think just release it.
See, it's not gonna sell as much as the Call of Duty game would sell.
Which is for them. Why would they take that risk when they know putting the Call of Duty name might hurt it, but it's not gonna hurt it as much as taking it off.
Well, because the way I see it is, you got to protect the franchise, not each individual game. So in the long run, I think you're protecting the franchise by giving the people what they want, which is like a Modern Warfare collection. I'll guarantee you this, they would sell minimum 10 million copies. I would think they'll probably sell 15 million of Modern Warfare. Mm-hmm. And then whatever this other shooter is, let's say they rename it, it's not going to sell 30 million copies like Modern Warfare 3, but I think might sell like 5 to 10 million copies. Because especially if people know that it used to be a Call of Duty game, obviously that's something that has never been done, but I think it could. I think it would
technically
work.
Bungie did it with Destiny.
As far as
Like, you know, kind of like I mean, granted they're not creating this game to be a different game, but you know, Bungie had it. You know, they could have just kept going with Halo for fucking forever. But they're like, no, I definitely don't think who's Infinity Ward or Activision or anyone. I don't think they're even thinking about taking off the name at any point in time.
I mean, like, I don't think they have the power to. You know what I mean? And this is Activision's call. It's not their call.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there is no doubt in my mind they are not like they'll get another developer before they change the name.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
They'll hire 3 new developers if they have to.
Yeah.
Before they take the Call of Duty name off. I mean, if Infinity Ward decides to go by themselves, you know, leave Activision, then they would probably do it like that. Yeah. But as of right now, there's no way they're gonna do it. And there's
no way reason. Infinity Ward is gonna do it, or no way Activision will do it.
There's no way either of them are doing it because Infinity Ward is not doing it without Activision.
Yeah, so it comes down to Activision. I'm just saying, like, from a business standpoint, it makes sense, like, because you're still, if you combine the sales from both games, you'll get the same sales that you would have got for. And like, what is it gonna cost them to get a development team to just up the textures for Modern Warfare? You know,
and it's one of those things. I mean, granted, like I said, I wouldn't mind playing Modern Warfare style game, but like no developers really doing it right now. So like, you know, they probably don't. They see people complaining about it, but they don't see a demand because all these Titanfall sold well, Destiny sold well, Halo sold well, Black Ops 3 Advanced Warfare sold well, so it's like, why are we going back? Like, we're making money, like, you know, until someone big makes like a modern style shooter that takes off, then that's when we'll see, you know, maybe.
I mean,
go back to it.
I mean, they could always just look at the success of CS:GO, and just honestly,
that's a completely different beast, like, you know.
Yeah, well, honestly, just add a betting system or whatever, and skins to your Modern Warfare collection.
They already did it to
Black Ops 3. Okay, yeah, exactly. So, like, why not? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying. It's true, but I think they have to think of the long term of what's gonna happen, because if people don't want to play this shit, and like if people don't buy it,
and that's fine. But like, for example, this is a completely different style game, and even the 2 games I'm gonna say right now are completely different. But Tom Clancy's The Division is set in modern times, and then you have a game like Destiny set in space times. And I know a lot of people don't like Destiny, a lot of people like hating on it, but I prefer playing Destiny. It just seems, you know, like nothing looks different in The Division. Yeah, you know.
But that's their fault, you know.
That's what I'm saying, you know.
And it sold fucking better than Destiny did.
Yeah, it did.
You know?
Of course, yeah. So, yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, I personally don't want them to go back to like Modern Warfare style.
Yeah, games. I want them to.
Exactly.
Like I want them to. I don't mind the jumping or anything, but Modern Warfare 2 is still fun
then
to
go
me.
Play Modern Warfare 2, like.
And I would, and exactly.
Yeah,
okay.
And the thing I do think they should do is they should re-release some of the games.
Yeah,
Modern Warfare 2, obviously, or maybe just Modern Warfare 1. You know. Like, you know, but. You know.
But like, and again, like, the reason I can't do that is because they don't fucking fix their servers, and every time you go to the game, those games are fucking hacked as shit. Like, you can't play them. So, I mean, it's on them. You know what I mean? Like, it's on them to do something. I just think that they're on the brink. Advanced Warfare sold worse than Ghost. Ghost sold worse than Black Ops 2. Black Ops 3 obviously has the Black Ops name, so it's different. You know what I mean? But I would like I said before, like, I wouldn't mind Ghost if you just had a longer time to kill, and that's it. Like,
I mean, if I honestly like, if this next game from them doesn't do well, they'll probably go back. But I don't think Advanced Warfare because they probably knew ahead of time. It's a new developer. Yeah. You know, it's not part of the. You know, Ghost wasn't part of the Modern Warfare, but just the fact that it had, I think a lot of people bought that game just because it had Ghost, Ghost in it,
and they thought it was
gonna be Ghost. Yeah, you know, that's just an assumption. Advanced Warfare, people realized that it wasn't gonna be like a modern warfare but advanced. You know, it's a completely its own thing.
It's a new thing. Yeah.
And then like Black Ops 3 had the name and people bought it. And even though it's not.
And we honestly don't even know what the sales figures. I mean, I know that it sold a lot because they talked about it, but I don't know what it is compared to the other games.
Yeah.
So I mean that has a big impact on it too. And like you said, like okay, well maybe they'll switch it next time, but like I don't think.
Well, not even this next time. They would have to switch it. That's 3 years.
They would have to exactly, and by that time, who knows? So like the 3-year cycle doesn't help them in that regard because they're 3 years out of date of what people want every time. You know, like so. So
in that regard, I do agree with you. It's just that I don't think they. I don't know. I don't think they should.
Okay.
Bring back the.
All right, last
on the ground, no jumping.
It's amazing. Black Ops 2, man.
I love Black Ops 2. I love Black Ops 3 though, too.
Yeah, well, I like Black Ops 2 more.
That's because you don't play Black Ops
3. I play it every now and again.
It's because Fallen isn't on Black Ops 3. That's why.
God damn it, Fallen. All right, so last story of the week. All right, let me give you a rundown about this. This is related to YouTube.
And very related to what we do.
Very related to what we do. And I really wanted to talk about this because I actually agree with the developer here for the most part. So there's this game called That Dragon Comma Cancer by Brian Green.
That's the name you told me and I wrote it down.
I think it's Ryan Green.
Oh, Ryan? Okay.
Yeah.
You told me Brian.
Ryan Green. Anyway, so what happened is this game is... It's not...
I felt like something like...
Are you alright?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like
yeah. So like this game,
I think it was just my hair, but like it's like
electricity in the air today. Yeah, so this is one of those type of games that it doesn't have a lot of gameplay. You know what I mean? It's not that type. It's more like a movie, let's say. Which a lot of games are like walking sims and stuff like that. That you can get most of the experience off of watching a video as opposed to playing it yourself,
which is what we have.
Yeah. So. What happened was, this is an indie game. They've only sold 14,000 copies. And so he started monetizing the music on YouTube videos that were people uploading their game.
So he was basically claiming the videos. He wasn't giving strikes as far as I know.
No strikes.
But he was basically I don't even want to say taking, but he was making money off the videos people posted about his game.
Yeah, he was earning his money. And of course, YouTubers being the crybabies and spoiled people that we are started complaining and sending them messages and tweeting them and telling them like, are you gonna release our claims because it really sucks when people make money off videos that I made, blah blah blah. And apparently that really hit a nerve with him because he's like, yeah, that does suck when people make money off the content you created.
Yeah, and we make videos, and of course when we get claimed, it's up to them. If they want to claim a video, by all means,
it's your content. You do what you want.
I mean, we're lucky that not everyone shares the same mindset.
Yeah,
and we were able to make money off the videos, or else we wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're very lucky that 99% of the companies are fine with us monetizing our videos.
And when they don't,
what can you say? Like I can't get mad at them. Like I can't be like, what? I recorded this cutscene. You spent 2 years animating it. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and say that. But there's a couple arguments here that are interesting that I think that are worth talking about. So first and foremost, what ended up happening is that people complain, and so of course, because of the backlash, they reversed it and took back all the claims because they didn't want all that negative.
Which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
There's no reason for them to get negative comments for claiming a video.
Yeah, and so like he retracted the claims, but he also released a statement saying like, there has to be a solution here because the truth is we've only sold 14,000 copies. And if you look up this game and add up all the views on YouTube, there's millions and millions of views.
People that have seen it at least.
That have seen it, and they're happy with just watching it instead of playing the game. And that sucks, and I do think that there has to be some sort of solution for any developer who wants that, where maybe you get to share the revenue.
Yeah. Especially now with Let's Plays, YouTube videos in general, having such like a control. Like There was that game, Bear Simulator. I don't know if you heard about it, but I think PewDiePie made a video and bashed on the game quite a bit.
Yeah.
And the developer was like, "Okay, I'm done.
Done? Like, just done making
I'm done.
games?
I'm done. Whatever was left for this game, I'm done."
Yeah.
You know. And I mean, I'm sure. Like, I can't imagine how many people, you know, or how much like stuff he was getting because of that one video. You know.
Yeah. It's a fucking torrent of negativity that will come from social media if something like that happens.
It's understandable.
Yeah, like I agree with this developer because especially with games like that, like you really can just watch the video and you get the full experience. Now, of course, here's a counter argument which I saw some people make, and this is also true, which is stop fucking making games that are just movies.
See, and I completely don't agree with that.
Yeah.
That comment, but go ahead.
So I agree with it to the point where it's like there's games that have stories, great stories that like God of War or Uncharted, and like you can watch the game movie, you can watch all cutscenes, but by and far like that's not the full experience of the game. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you can't watch those videos and really know what the game is like. Like you can get the story, but you can't get the full experience.
Right.
Which is why most developers at this point realize that it doesn't matter if people have Let's Plays or game movies, because at the end of the day, if they have a good game, you're gonna buy the game. Mm-hmm. You know? So I agree with that point where it's like it's different if you're kind of releasing like a game like that. Like don't call it a game, call it something different. But at the same time, even if it was a movie, let's say, they still deserve their money.
Exactly.
Like,
that's the part where like that statement doesn't make sense to me, because it's like, okay, if it's still let's say they just made
let's just say they animated a movie,
an interactive movie.
Yeah,
that's what they made. It's like, okay, it's still their movie. You know?
It's still theirs, and they still have the right to. Now that's where Telltale really hit on a gold mine, because you have to make choices in their games. They realize that even if you make a Let's Play, it doesn't matter. Like people are still who are intrigued are gonna look at it and be like, man, I want to play it and make my different choices. This guy's an idiot, like like. So
we got him plenty of comments of that.
Yeah, we got plenty of those. So and like Telltale, just personally, like they know what we do, and they've hooked us up with early access. They've hooked us up with their entire library of games, and they know exactly what we do. And still they do it because they realize that the free advertisement they get, I guess not free because they give you the game, but the advertisement they get from it is beneficial to them. But
and unfortunately, some games don't benefit from certain types of advertisement.
Yeah.
Which, Let's Plays for a game like I haven't played that Dragon, but people obviously didn't go out and buy it.
Yeah, and like he said, people always say, "Oh no, Let's Plays are good. Like you can, Minecraft, like Let's Plays blew up Minecraft."
Yeah, but that's completely different.
Yeah, and he's like, "Dude, that's not the same thing. Like that's not like a linear story. That's a non-linear game where you can do different."
If anything, like there's probably other games exactly like this game that blew up because of Let's Plays.
Yeah,
but all of those seem more like outliers.
Yeah, instead of the general rule. Yeah, I think the indie developers of games like this are getting
especially
screwed over.
indie developers. That's what.
Yeah.
Stuff like this hurts the most.
They're getting screwed over,
but at the same time, it does help. Like it does help a lot.
Well, that's the last part of the argument where it's like, okay, they sold 14,000 copies. Well, how many fucking copies would they have sold if there was no videos? You know what I mean? But that's the argument. Is like, well, they can have videos. It's just we'll make the money because it's our fucking. And I'm fine with that. And I'm 100% fine with that.
Yeah, and obviously, I'm sure they didn't flag every video. I mean, if we would have put the video up, they would have probably claimed ours. Yeah. Because, like, we don't do commentary on most of the game movies. Yeah. Because that's not how we do it. And, I mean, that would have been fine. I mean, sometimes it's one of those things that we don't put up the video in fear of getting a strike. Yeah. I think, and most people, that's their problem. They don't, like, they don't, I think most people would be fine if they get the video claimed.
Apparently not.
Yeah, apparently not. But for me, I don't know if it's the same for you, but I know it's the same for you. But it's like, hopefully that claim doesn't lead to a strike.
Yeah, and that's the only fear I would have, because like on our channel right now we have at least 30 videos that have copyrighted claims where the song maker or
the
or
song
developers
maker,
have make money off of video. I'm fine with that. Like that's their content, and as long as they're fine with me posting it, I'm fine with it. Like,
like I said, the main thing we're worried about is a strike, which we've gotten before.
Yeah.
I can't think of a game right now, but we've gotten strikes before putting the game up.
Here's the strikes that we've gotten. Like we've got a strike on the Halo 2 documentary.
Right, but I'm talking about because I know some of the strikes weren't for games. So I'm talking about game movies. You know, like our game movies that we put up that we've gotten strikes for. I can't think of
none.
We've gotten claims, like I said, but like we said, they could lead. To strikes, which is why we're sometimes we even take them down just because
to be safe.
Especially music, I think that's what we're more worried about.
Yeah. Like if it's an old school conglomerate like Warner Music Group or Universal Music Group, like don't mess with those. just take it off. If it's like from AdSense, like AdRev, those are like indie developers, and they're mostly all cool except for like the crazy.
But you know, they want their money for their music.
No, but I mean, like some of them are like the people who gave like Total Biscuit a strike, or you know, just because he gave a bad review of the game, and they're like strike, like because you know some of these guys are insane, you know, because they work 24/7 on a game, and that's their whole life.
Yeah, I mean, granted, luckily we just put the movie up. we don't generally give our opinion on it in the video.
Yeah. But we add a lot of gameplay. So I guess that protects us. I don't know. You know, we'll be here as long as they'll let us be here.
Exactly. That's
as soon as they get mad enough, they'll kick us out.
That's it. We're done. The channel's gonna be up for however long YouTube before they delete it, you know, and then that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, let us know what you guys think about that. It's a touchy subject, especially for YouTubers and Let's Players
like us.
Yeah, for us, like we've always made it known in public that like we are lucky as shit to do what we do, and we know that what we do is not really a creative thing. You know, we've always said we're librarians of greater minds. Although we have done some.
I've never heard that before. I'm just kidding.
Like we've done some cool stuff too, but for the most part, that's what we do. But I know Let's Players in particular, they're always under attack. Like they're always on the edge of being just kicked out of the gaming space because people are tired of them taking revenue from the companies are tired of it. You know?
Yeah, which I don't. Like, if anything, something like Twitch is the same exact thing. You know?
Yeah. True.
And unless they're playing your game early, like, what can you do?
Yeah. I think they should be allowed to play it, but if a game like this in particular, like, the developer should monetize.
Like I said, it's always up to the developer if they feel like it's hurting them. Yeah. More than it's
helping.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
Then they have every right to... You know, to monetize it. Just don't copyright strike people. Yeah. Then, like, we're on bad terms. Shit. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us on this week's podcast. Batman versus Superman. Go check it out. Let us know what you guys think.
Don't watch it.
I'm sure like half the world saw it already. Yeah. But yeah, we'll be back next week. We'll see you guys later. Peace.